gotta keep fighting. Oh no, I cannot look behind. This is a journey that I must unbind. Oh yeah, I'm scared, but it's what makes me stronger. I'll stand my ground in the midst of despair. Wish that you never encounter this danger. I keep on fighting, draw my strength from the fear. I found my purpose, descended from the light. A purpose so strong, it keeps me moving through the night. It's better that I go instead of being you. These wars that I am fighting, I'll see them all through. Guess I gotta keep fighting with this haunting fear in my heart. Oh, I gotta keep moving.
Whew. Okay, what's up, survivalists? Oh wait, I didn't switch my camera on. Hey, what's up, survivalists? It's Jay, Team WJ here. Welcome back to another live stream. I don't know if today's gonna end up being a Love Steer production diary or not, but it definitely won't be a Minecraft survival stream. Today, what I want to do is show you guys, or talk with you guys, a little bit of a concept about fighting animations, especially for Minecraft animations, but more or less the concept of combat in general for storytelling as well. So, writers here, you might be interested in this. Just a few thoughts on combat and how you should use it to progress your characters in your story. And for people who are interested in the martial arts, I'm going to share a little bit of that and how we can animate that in Minecraft. Also, you know, stuff that I've been thinking about in terms of Minecraft animation is limitations to Minecraft animation. Because something that you notice with Minecraft characters are that they have completely different shapes than human characters do. But I'll get into that in a bit. Basically what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of stuff that you can't do using Minecraft animation. Okay, well, anyway. Joining me today in the stream, we have in the chat, Adam Lucifer, what's going on? Cheesico, welcome back. By the way, Adam, you changed your name black. Blue Crystal, nice to see you here. Ziggy Bergie says, hello, gamer. Hello, hello. Captain Swerve is here. What's going on, Captain Swerve? Dull is back. Welcome back. Poop Eyes and Friendly is here. What's going on? Dull is also here. I believe I saw Josiah as well. Good to have everyone here. Awesome. Coolio, just a reminder to everyone to not spam the chat, otherwise I will block you from the channel. We've had to do that several times already, so guys, please do not put random things in the chat. This is your final warning. Thank you. There is a community post that I put out or I think it was last night, saying that I canceled the Minecraft animation, and I got some interesting responses to that. I'm not sure what I should do right now. Maybe I should show you the screen. What's going on, Bragger? What's going on? Welcome back. Thank you for purchasing my shirt. I will, by the way, anybody who purchases my shirt right now and sends me a picture of themselves wearing the shirt will get a free physical copy of the Love Steer manga sent to them when it is completed. So, there you go. Just letting you guys know. I just finished your own stream. Well, good timing. So did Solar. I hope Solar's coming in as well. Let me show you guys what's on the screen right now as I talk about a community post that I just posted. Something I just want to get off my chest, okay? So, while I show you guys what's going on the screen, I want you guys to tell me what's happening in here. Excuse me, I left something out in here. A majority of you will have absolutely no idea what's going on. I'm willing to bet that 100% of you won't understand what's going on, but I'm going to show you anyway. Here we go. Take a look at that. What's happening? While you guys figure that out and write in the chat what is going on in this picture, I want to explain the community post that I just made. So I'm pretty sure it was either this morning or last night, I made a post saying on YouTube, like the community tab, I said, I'm canceling the PewDiePie animation. And then all of a sudden, that post gets a lot of attention, and people are saying, why? At least tell us why. I wanted to see this so much. I was so excited for the story. So here's the thing. I don't let hate get to me, and I'm not a hateful person. So I'm not going to like sit here and complain about these people all day. What I do have to say in response to everyone saying why and all the comments like, why are you getting rid of it? I really wanted to see this. I'm going to unsubscribe from you. How dare you betray our trust like this? Okay, if you say you're excited, how excited were you really? Because if you were so excited about seeing this animation go through, surely you would have seen the other posts that I made about it calling for help so that I could finish the animation. Surely you would have been in my live streams contributing to the animation and giving ideas and also understanding why it's not being made. Surely. There have been several live streams. Surely you would be on my Discord talking about it or encouraging me to make this animation. Or you'd be encouraging me to do my own thing. right? Or you'd even hop onto my other videos to let me know that you came from that original animation and you really like what I'm doing and you want to encourage me. So how excited are you really that you would do none of that? See, the entire point of the PewDiePie animations was it was an experiment. I mean, it's an experiment that I knew the results to already, but it was a proving point. I made that animation because I knew it was going to get a bunch of views. And the point of making that is to show that when you follow a trend and you make something trend related and all you do is follow trends to get millions and millions of numbers and views, that's all your channel is ever going to be about. So that's why I mentioned in the previous streams that it's much easier to grow on YouTube if all you want is numbers and views and money and whatnot, because all you have to do is chase that one goal. If you don't have dreams and you don't have a vision of the future, and you don't have any of that, and you just want some numbers and some quick cash, it's so easy to get that. But I'm not like that. I don't care about the numbers. I don't care about the views. I don't care about the cash. I just want to make Lavasleer. So when it comes down to the motivation of making something that I know will be trendy and will get me short-term success, because the only people who subscribe through the PewDiePie animations are the people who would watch the PewDiePie animations and not Lavasleer and anything else that I make on this channel, those type of people will leave when I stop making the PewDiePie animations because they only subscribe for that. Which means, if my channel is about Lavasleer and I get people subscribing for the PewDiePie animations are all that's going to ever matter. And I can just forget my dreams of making Lavasleer and just focus on doing that, if that's how I want to succeed. But that's not what I want to do. So that was a proving point to show what happens if you follow trends. You get short-term success, you get some money back, you get a lot of views back, and it feels good to have those numbers. But if that's not what your desire is, and your desire is to make something that you enjoy, right? Rethink the strategy there. Is following trends really the best idea? Okay, let's see if you guys have figured out what's happening in this picture. Let me scroll back up real quick and see what's going on. Let's see. Shizuko says, this looks wrong. People are going, what's going on here? Josiah is on the right track. He says it's a wrestling thing where he's getting pinned down. Close. Blue Crystal says, oh, hey, by the way, Blue Crystal, thank you for applying for as an animator. I'm sorry that everything didn't go to plan, and I'm really thankful that you applied. And also thank you for being in the streams. That's the main difference, is that people who enjoy my content and enjoy doing what I do and actually want to support me and actually want to see the PewDiePie animation done, they will come in and help. So thank you so much, Blue Crystal. She's an animator, by the way. Blue Crystal says, looks like the person on top is restraining the person on the bottom, like in a fight or something. Good. Ziggy says, confusing 100. Absolutely agree. And that is the point of making this little experiment here. Dell says, that looks really weird at first sight. I don't think it only looks weird at first sight. I think the more you look at it, the more weirder it gets. Josiah says, the armbar thing trying to get him to tap out. Very close. It's not an armbar, but it is an arm lock, and he is trying to get him to tap out. It is definitely not R18, Adam. You don't remember the term. This is a very specific move, right? Hicksday says, excited enough to get an erection. Woo! Woo! Getting an erection from an arm lock? That's rough. That's rough. I just realized that my green screen is pulling a little bit of funky business on me, so give me 1 second while I adjust this. I'm going to have a little bit of a OCD issue if I don't adjust this. There we go. My camera should look a lot better now. I don't look blue anymore. Perfect. Josiah, you're right. It is an arm lock, but there's a name for this one. Braga says they came for the PewDiePie content, not for the creators, so when you're saying you're not doing it, they're noping out. Exactly. And I mean, it's good on them. They subscribe for the PewDiePie thing, and so if I'm not going to make it anymore, they have all the right to unsubscribe. That's perfectly fine. But what I don't like seeing is people saying, I was so excited for that, you betrayed me. Did I really, though? Where were you? That's the question I throw back at them. Where were you? Cool. It's a grapple lock. It is a grapple lock, but the specific term for this is an omoplata. So I can show you a picture right now for what this is. And by the way, there is a reason I'm showing you guys this move. It's not like some random. So let me go onto Google. If you type in omoplata, this is the specific move that I'm doing. Let me find a proper. There we go. Here's a good picture. There you go. So you can compare that, right? What is happening here? Here you go. I'm going to keep on reading a few of the comments. Noah says, I actually have no idea that you made a PewDiePie animation. I entered the live and I'm really confused. Oh, hey. Well, I mean, that's how YouTube recommends people to my channel. If you've watched my PewDiePie things, I mean, listen, a lot of you guys have come from watching PewDiePie and you have converted. So yes, a few people have converted over. But out of the, I believe, in total, there's over 1 million views. Out of the millions of views that I've gotten just from YouTube alone, there have been like maybe 10 or so people coming over, meaning the conversion from 1 million to 10 is like 0.1 or something, right? I would much rather grow the hard way, making Levisleer and then struggling with low numbers and then climbing up and then seeing the satisfaction of Levisleer succeeding, rather than making PewDiePie animations and then looping everyone back to my animation. Like, I could still do that. I'm still going to do that, except that's not going to be my primary strategy. Like, if I see something trendy and I feel like, there's a trend here, I could capitalize on that. I feel like it. Okay, I can get some extra views in. Why not, right? I could do that. Like, I'm still up to doing that. It's just, I don't want to get locked onto following trends. That's what I absolutely hate doing. I hate being swept over by waves. Angelo says, wait, I come in live again. Why is Steve humping Steve? This is not Steve humping Steve. This is an This is an omoplata arm lock. What's going on, Harry? Welcome. Okay. So, what is the point of showing the omoplata, right? Basically, when I talk about fight animations, and as a martial artist myself, if you want to hear my credentials, my father is a martial arts instructor, right? I studied under him since birth, and as such, I am also like escalated to an instructor level for the Hong Kong Harbor Defense. So yes, I am a Hong Kong Harbor Defense martial arts instructor. Surprise, right? I'm also a Taekwondo blue belt. I'm also a Jiu-Jitsu practitioner under Gracie Baja. I'm also a Jiu-Jitsu practitioner under 10th Planet South Melbourne. So I have a lot of martial arts experience, and I absolutely love martial arts. I'm insane about it. I love it so damn much. I know a lot about martial arts. The average person here doesn't. The average person here, looking at two Steves on top of each other, looks like gay porn. Okay? The point here is that if you are a martial artist and you want to study some complex martial arts moves, grappling is a very difficult territory to show. Because grappling moves can look very, very strange to people who have no idea what's going on. And so if you choose to use them, even if I showed you this picture, even if I just showed you this picture without the Minecraft stuff here, you're still going to be confused. Because at first glance, if I didn't tell you that his arm was stuck and his arm's about to break right there, and if I don't tell you to put your arm out to the side and crank it backwards until it goes behind your shoulder, you can feel that tension there. That's exactly what's happening in this picture, right? If I didn't tell you any of that, you would have no idea what's happening. This is why you don't see grappling in a lot of shows, TV shows, animations, etc., because it's very difficult to show. However, I do want to change that because I love grappling, and I want to see more of this. So how can we show this without it being confusing? First of all, an omoplata lock is not the lock that you want. I'm willing to bet you guys that some of you guys here know about... Here, listen, look, I'll show you something. You may not have any idea what's going on here, right? You have no idea what's going on here. However, if I showed you... I don't want to show anything too gruesome here, right? If I showed you something like this, you would have an idea of what's going on here. Most of you guys would have an idea just from looking at this. Oh, his arm is about to snap backwards. You would have an idea because it's a lot simpler to look at. Another example that is so commonly seen, right? Everyone knows this. Wrong. Right here. Everyone looking at this photo knows exactly what's happening here. This dude's getting choked out. His head is getting put underneath this like headlock, right? Everyone knows what's happening here. So if we choose to use grappling to spice up our combat animations, even in Minecraft, not in Minecraft, and maybe real life films or whatnot, we should stick to simple submissions like what I just showed. Also, imagine if, for instance, let me take a screen cap of this. By the way, welcome Ida and Travel Sky, as well as I have to scroll up for this one. Ambervella, thank you for applying, and thank you for that really detailed comment on my community post. You're someone who understands what I'm doing, so I thank you so much for that, and also welcome to our Discord server. Let me give you an example of this image right here. If I gave you this image without any context, and all we saw was this, and we just really closed up on his face, and you see him squinting a little bit, you would still have an idea of what's happening. Because you see his facial reaction and he's struggling. That's a key thing, right? We have to be able to use facial language. Is that a word? Facial language? in order to show an expression of struggle, especially when we're doing complex moves like that. So that's just one thing that I wanted to get out of the way. I want to see more grappling stuff in people's animations. Maybe not in Minecraft, right? Maybe not in Minecraft. Because this is highly confusing. However, if someone did it correctly, I believe we may be onto something. Dull says, do you watch UFC? I'm a massive, massive fan of UFC. Let's see what else is going on here. Bryger says, I am the same way. I could not be doing the PewDiePie content. Exactly. Because, see, Bryger, Josiah, and myself as YouTubers that I'm close to, that I've spoken to directly with, I know what you guys like. You guys like making your own YouTube videos. Bryger has the Shattered Crown. Josiah has all of his series. I've got Levislier. We all have something that we want to finish and we want to do. Making trendy videos in order to get a bunch of views might make you happy. Imagine if all of you guys right now, all of a sudden you guys shot up to 10,000 subscribers. Right? Just imagine that for a second. Beautiful. You got 10,000 subscribers? That's a good number. It's a really good number. It's something to be proud of. But does that make you happier than seeing if you just uploaded Shattered Crown and that got you 10,000? Or if you just uploaded your own series, Josiah, like one of your big series, you uploaded that and all of a sudden that got you 10,000? That would make you feel so much better. And that applies for everyone else here as well. Making trendy videos that we know are going to succeed? Yeah, we know it's going to succeed. Making something that we want to succeed and watching it succeed, that's where it's really at. Oh, jeez. I'm drinking a lot today. XO Roses, what's going on? I see you said same, but I'm not exactly sure what's going on here. Shizuko says, if you do the grappling, you might want to view it from a different angle where they can see the arms bending. Yes, that's very true. Shizuko, one more thing about that. If I showed you it from a different angle, this is not going to show you anything. The best angle for me to show it to you from is this angle that starts right here. Like, this is the best angle, right? If I closed up on their face and they were like, you know, they had this, like, I don't know how you describe this, like, grumpy-ass face, right? That would be a lot better. And then I could also pull out to show this, but instead of showing it still, I could show it moving. Let me show you something. Let me disable this top dude real quick. So it's just this guy. Maybe this will help you guys understand a little bit more, right? I don't want you guys to get obsessed over this position. This is just an example. But imagine yourself in this position. Imagine yourself lying face down like this. Your arm is usually facing forward like so, right? Okay, imagine you just face planted. Now imagine if your arm was bent backwards, like that. Okay, so you can still do that. Now imagine that. Try doing that in real life. Try having your arm behind you, like this, and then bending that upwards like that. Because that is exactly what's going on if we load this guy back up. That is what he wants. So now that you understand how this submission works, and I've explained it to you, I can go ahead and animate this. So you can understand this a little bit better. So I'm not going to spend too long animating this. But all I'm going to do is put a keyframe here, move forward by 10 frames, scoot his waist forward a little bit more. So you see his arms getting pushed forward now, right? Like that. Scoot his waist forward a little bit more and possibly lean him in like so. Put another keyframe there. Go backwards by 10 frames. Grab the shoulder. Keyframe at 0. Moved front forward to 10. And rotate that forward just like how I did before. So that snaps. That snaps off your entire shoulder. Right? So now that we do this, we may be able to understand it a bit better because something is moving. I'm still gonna have to. It's still a bit of a struggle to show that arm exactly. So let's move this back. I don't know. That's a bit too far back. Maybe something like that. Okay. So you can see the arm there. Watch. Pap. Just by doing something like that and adding the sound effect of, you can make that sound effect by grabbing a stack of grab a stack of cabbage. Sorry, no. Grab a stack of lettuce, the long one. Take some lettuce, or take some, what's that one called? The celery. Grab a celery or grab some lettuce, snap it right in front of your microphone. Right? You grab all those. So that would be the celery would be, because it's only one branch. Take the lettuce, right? Take all of those sounds, add it right here. Right there. Once you have it in motion, it's a lot more easier to understand. I'm not asking you guys to go out and study grappling and input some grappling into your fight scenes. This is just this, first of all, what this is doing right here is to exercise your minds to think differently, right? Because this is what my fighting principles are about, especially in animations. It's about being different. And this is the first example. So you don't have to include any grappling in your fights. But what I did just now is to make you think a little bit differently. This, when you think of a fight, your first picture might be people throwing punches and kicks at each other. But no, this is a fight as well. Some dude just got his arm broken. This is also a fight. So when you think about fight scenes, start thinking a little bit different. It's not just dude with sword and shield slashing at each other. It's not just dude with punches and kicks punching and kicking each other. It could be picking someone up, throwing them onto the ground. It could be punching someone off a cliff. It could be throwing them through a wall, right? It could be using the environment to do some sort of damage. When you think differently, all of your fight scenes are gonna spike in quality. Like, you're gonna see so many different things, right? Excuse me, I choked a little bit. Let me reread some of these comments over here. What's going on, Gotcha? Welcome back. I remember you. Adam says change one of the characters' clothes so it'll be easier. Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course. Yeah, if they look different, of course, it's gonna be easier to know. Bryger says, I'm always fighting for original content. Absolutely. I think that's why it's so important. By the way, Bryger and Josiah, I want to pull maybe we should grab someone from the Machinima Hub. I want to do a collab. A small, maybe a live stream collab. I've got an interesting idea because my girlfriend and I were watching this show called, okay, if you've never heard of this show, don't judge by its title, please. It's called, it's an anime called Imoto Sai Irebai, which translates into A Sister Is All You Need. It is not about incest. It is about a writer and his writer friends as they struggle to debut their the light novels and whatnot, and they struggle to go for fame, and they're writing their own stories and whatnot. And because they're a group of friends who are all writers, and they like making up stories and whatnot, they have a bunch of mini games in their rooms, and they all gather around sometimes, and they pull out these mini games that are always related to story writing. One of the things that I want to do with you guys live, right, is make a live stream where we play one of these mini games, and it is everyone gets a set of cards. Everyone gets a set of randomized cards with some sort of story element on them. So it could be wolf, it could be anger, it could be beer or something. And you would have like 3 cards. And someone would play the first card. That's how the story starts. Using your cards, you have to say something to progress the story. At any point, if anyone else has a card that can interject into your story, they can play their card and interject. If they interject, you have to take 1 card back. The winner uses up all their cards and uses the ending card to end the story. So if we were all to gather up together and do that, and we gave each other like a bunch of cards that could be randomized, right? And we started crafting a story just from that, I reckon we'd be onto something real fun. Real fun. I don't know how that sounds to you guys. Let me know. Angelo says, why you buy celery and lettuce when you can break your own bones? That's true. I've... Back when I was in film school, one of the sound effects that I did was like... So you guys know I have a faulty wrist, right? Like my wrist is a bit fucked. It's a bit better now. But my wrist back a few years ago was fucked up. And I would... I would record bone cracking sounds just by going here and going like... and it would just crack a few times. Nobody caught on. They were like, wow, those sounds really realistic. I'm like, thank you. The celery I bought was really fresh. She just goes, I felt a ting of pain go down my spine. Interesting you say that. You wanna know something else? Guys. The reason I chose the omoplata to demonstrate this move in particular and get you guys thinking about different types of fight scenes is because I wanted to implement grappling into my fight scenes. I wanted to. So I did an experiment. This was like a few years ago, right? When I first joined 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu, down over here in South Melbourne, right? 10th Planet is created by this guy called Eddie Bravo. His nickname is The Twister, named after his signature move, The Twister, whereby he grabs your head and twists it this way, he takes your body and turns it the other way, and so your spine twists and snaps. He will snap your spine. That is the submission. That's what he's known for. It's called The Twister. And when I first joined 10th Planet, they taught me how to do the Twister, and I was so excited about it. The Twister is easily the most complex jiu-jitsu move in the world. Like, the amount of steps that it takes to get to the Twister, so complex. And I thought to myself, I wonder if I can animate the Twister using Minecraft characters. So that's the first thing I ever did, was create a Twister. And it looked ridiculous. And I learned so much because you learn what a Minecraft character cannot do, and you learn about the different proportions of the human body, like the anatomy and whatnot. Right, so let me share some of the results with you guys. I'm not going to show you guys how to do a Twister. I will show you the limitations of Minecraft animations. NRP says, what program do you use? I use Cinema 4D. However, what I'm about to say will still apply to Blender animators or Mineimator animators or Maya animators, because all Minecraft characters look exactly the same, right? So let me give you a quick example. Whew. Excuse me, I'm gonna run out of beer soon, and I don't know why I'm so thirsty. The first thing that you can't do in Minecraft animations, and this is such a simple thing, right? You wouldn't even think that this was the case. In Minecraft animations, all characters stand like this. This is perfectly fine. They can raise their arm up like this. However, the problem comes because they cannot do this. This is such a small movement that they cannot do. Watch. I'm going to create a new scene over here and just grab the FMR animate. Now, most rigs can't do this. However, Angelo's rig can. If I grab this and I start rotating it, that's going to rotate the entire arm. That's not what I want. Because my entire arm is not spinning off of its axis. My shoulders are still connected, right? So if I do that, it's popping off. It's popping off right there. I do have this wrist controller. This wrist controller goes like this. So you go, oh, okay, can we rotate this one? Can't do that. Cannot do that. And if we do enable that, which I have done in the past, it looks funky. Because, excuse me, when you turn your arm like this, it's only your forearm that's turning. The top of this doesn't turn. This stays perfectly still. If we inputted a way to do this in Minecraft animation, what happens is our entire arm twists like that. And it looks ridiculous. It's stupid. It's dumb stupid. You guys might think, oh, well, how does this affect any sort of real animations? Let me show you. First of all, a very simple example. Give me 1 second. I take these off. Let me switch over back to camera real quick. Oh, come on, switch. Okay, a very quick example. My arm has to be like this in order for me to bicep curl. I don't know if you would ever be animating someone doing a bicep curl, but you literally cannot do this action. You cannot do this action in Minecraft animation, right? So that's just a very easy example to show what you cannot do. And how is that functional? Let's grab a sword. Here's a diamond sword. Ignore the transparency. I've got a green screen behind me. You can, if your arm is locked straight forward like this, and you cannot twist it in this or this direction, you can instantly start seeing some problems right there. This means that I have to attack in this direction. If I wanted to attack in this direction and attack this way, right, what I would have to do is pop off my entire arm and then go this way. And it looks a bit funky. It becomes an even bigger problem. An even bigger problem when you have a double-handed sword, right? Which I do have in Levels Theory. I know it's not in default Minecraft, but I know a lot of you guys are also animators and you can customize stuff. If you have a double-handed sword like this, and you swing it, look at both my hands. See how they're both horizontal now? Meaning both hands can't do this. Another problem with double-handed stuff is that a Minecraft character, get ready for this, a Minecraft character can't do this. They can't do this. They can't do this. My head is still staying forward because what's going on right now is my chest is compressing. My chest is compressing inwards, so my shoulders are going tighter in together. The only way you can get your Minecraft characters to do this, by the way, my chest is, my hips are still facing forward. My hips are facing forward. I'm just rotating my chest, right? The only way you can get your Minecraft characters to do this is by detaching one of the shoulders. Let me show you. So first of all, let's get their arms in the middle. So let me undo the little wrist rotation over here first. Let's move their arms into the middle. And all of these moves are exactly what I showed in that double-handed sword swing just now. All of that is going to be used there. Here we go. First of all, we could get their arms together like so. And if we wanted to rotate this, and rotate this even further, you start seeing a problem there, right? That's not going to go for it. In real life, what I just did, I can rotate, sorry, let me get this in camera. I can rotate this here. Watch my other arm. I can keep rotating that, and I can still be in contact. And I can still be in contact all the way over here. My arm, right now, is like to the side of me, right? If my arm is to the side of me, I can still reach my palm. Okay? It's fully out here. But watch my other shoulder. See how I have to turn inwards? Let's go back to the screen. If I twist this all the way out like I did just now, how is that possibly going to touch that? Unless you take this and you move it, and you move it off, like so. And you see the problem there? You see the problem there? That's completely gone off. So that's a little limitation that you have with shoulders in terms of Minecraft animations. There's even more. There's even more. There's probably arguably an even bigger one in regards to the head, right? So all of those arm things that I talked about just now, that is all related to sword combat. Because when you're doing swords, you're doing a lot of big swings and whatnot. That's all related to sword combat because you're limited in terms of how far you can reach. Excuse me. Got a big burp over here. Woo! Vicbo says you can bend the arm. You can't bend the arm. Bending the arm shortens it. We want to extend the arm. Yes, you can stretch the arm. You can indeed stretch it, but there's a limit to how much you can stretch. Yes, you can remove that limit. But imagine how dumb that would look if you stretch the arm all the way over there. What's going on, X-Film, welcome to the live stream. Josiah says, I think that that was the problem when I was doing something last night. I also have a solution for my style, at least not for yours. Yeah, I mean, if you have a solution for this, do feel free to share it, because I'm interested in seeing what we can do about it. The other day, I was on Discord, and I asked you guys, hey, can any of the riggers here figure out a way to do the YMCAA, so like that, in Minecraft animation, without clipping the head? Because that's also something you can't do. You cannot have your arms like this directly on top of your head. This is a very easy... The reason I asked that, by the way, is because when you have a sword combat... Oh, Jesus, almost spilled my beer there. My God, my bad. When you're having sword combat, most people tend to stand their guys like this, right? They just stand their guys over like this, and they point forward. This is called long point guard. That is not the only guard. For guys, look into... if you guys are going to fight with swords, and you're going to animate or write about people fighting in swords, I recommend looking into sword fighting just a little bit. Just a little bit to try and dibble-dabble, right? This is not the only sword stance. This is a sword stance. This is a sword stance. This is a sword stance right behind me. Right in front of me, this is a sword stance. I really like this one. One of them that I particularly like is up here, like this. This is a sword stance. So when I asked, can anyone do an A from the YMCA? Now you can see why. Because I was trying to figure out if anyone can do this, so that the strike would come straight down like so, right? For people who don't animate and think, oh, just move the arms upwards. Let's try. What happens is, let me first bend the arms a little bit so that we can see where the elbows are. So that just tells me that the elbow is right there. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Like so. And now we're going to twist it upwards. So we twist it up like so, and then we rotate it inwards to this direction so that they connect on top of his head. Instantly, you can see the problem. Without detaching his shoulders, the maximum that he can reach is the top of his head. Right? That's not a problem with the arms, by the way. That's a problem with his big-ass head. So what Angelo and Solar have managed to figure out is that if you rotate it... If you rotate it in this way, and then you select the shoulders and you detach it upwards, you can still kind of do it like so. But naturally, you have some clipping there, and these are not going to be connected. Problem with this, for me, guys, so thank you, Solar and Angelo, for figuring this one out. This is pretty cool. Like, this is cool, and it kind of works, okay? If you were doing just like people, this would work. Because from this side, at least, you don't really see that little disconnect from the shoulder. Problem is, though, when we're using it specifically for Levislier, we get a tiny, tiny little problem. Let's grab our good friend over here. You guys haven't seen him in a while. It's Arky. Arkdoc, come on. Be a good boy. Where you at? Homie, where you go? There he is. Okay. I think you guys are already picking up the problem here. If we do that, and move that... Hold on. Rotate that a little bit. There we go. And you move that upwards, that is clearly clipping. Because his head is transparent, that is clearly clipping. And there's no way around that. For me personally, I'm fine with this. I'm fine with this. I can let this get away. This would be just part of the style. It's fine. It's Minecraft animation. You can't have everything perfect. So this, for me, this is fine. However, some people, I think, would have a problem with this, because there's a very, very small majority of people who like complaining about everything clipping, and they would definitely see this as a clipping issue. I'm fine with this clipping. What's going on, Sawi Arts? Welcome to the live stream. Josiah says, well, I don't think you would be happy with my solution at all. I'm basically just going to make the front part of the arm a separate piece. Forearm and back arm are different. Well, how is that going to be any different? So if you made the forearm and the is there a term for this? There's a forearm, there's a, what do you call it? I don't know. Back arm? I don't know. Even if you made those separate, do you just completely detach the forearm? Angelo says, I think I accidentally watched the wrong kind of sword fighting. Chess piece also becomes made of 3 parts, but it's also hard to explain and would definitely work on your smile because it's smooth. Oh, okay, so what I'm imagining for what Josiah is describing is that he would have, like, this, for example, would be the forearm, and then that would be, like, the back of the arm, so then when he bends, there would be, like, a little, kind of a little gap, like, right there. That's what I'm assuming Josiah is saying. No, Adam, the bicep is the front. I'm talking about the entire, like, the entire bit, like, the bicep and the tricep. Vicpol says, by the way, are you going to upload the PewDiePie animation? No, Vicpol, we're going to cancel it because we didn't find enough animators that could help get it done in a reasonable amount of time. However, I am going to be hiring animators to come help with editing the highlight series for our Minecraft survival series. By the way, someone asked me if I'd ever be releasing a part of what I finished for the PewDiePie animation, and I said I could do that. I mean, because I do have a little bit of it done, and I could also upload the file, because I know that someone else wants to. Here's the thing: I don't want to take fun away from people. People like watching PewDiePie animations, and it's fun, right? Sure, it is fun. So I did think of uploading the entire file online for other people to continue it. If that's something that you guys would be interested in, any of the people that are not about to be hired as editors, because I need editors, if you guys are interested in that, I could potentially upload the file to public places so that people can download it straight up. Phil No says it's forearm, upper arm. Thank you. It's forearm, upper arm, and then clavicle, not back arm. Okay, cool, back arm. Yeah, okay, yeah, I was right. I was right with what Josiah said. Okay, cool. So I've gone over what the limitations of the arms are, and I've also gone over a little bit about how this looks confusing as hell, right? So there is a limit to how complex your martial arts move can go, and there's also a limit to the some of the motions that a Minecraft character can do, specifically to do with the shoulder joint and the forearms. Another big thing is the head. It's so simple, right? Thank you for the donation, Snapperex. Fear is the most underrated song on YouTube. Thank you so much. I need to refer all of you guys' comments to the original songwriter. I haven't done that yet, but I really should, because I really want to see their response. Like, they were so happy when they finished it. I'm sure they would be so much happier once they see all of your comments. Thank you again for the donation. It means a lot. I can also, can I afford my coffee now? Can I afford my coffee that is now negative 310 days old? Hang on. Can we just scoot that out of the way? It's negative 341 hours old. Okay. Let me show you guys something. This is real stupid, right? This is really it's a dumb limitation. Watch. We've got a floor. Wrong. Let's try that again. We've got a floor right here. Okay. Let's grab in our, let's grab an arc dock, whatever, because we like looking at arc dock. Can you believe that they can't lie down? Can you believe that a Minecraft character cannot lie down face first? No, in any direction. They can't lie down in any direction. Watch. If I try to get him to lie down, right? First of all, by rotating him on his axis, half his body phases to the ground. So that's an easy fix. You just lift that up. You know, something like that. Just a little bit of clipping, that's fine. Because that would be compressed, you know, that's clothing. His head, however, is completely phasing through the ground. This might be fine for some people. I tend to be able to get away with this. However, if you try to fix this and you try to lift this upward, does that work for you guys? If that does work for you, that's cool. I think this kind of works now. However, when I first started doing it, I didn't think that it worked. Looking at this now, maybe it does work. I think my problem with it was that this was way too damn high up. And also, when you animate this, so if I try to, let me just do a quick animation here. I'm just going to get him to stand right back up, right? Yes, let's make him do this, and then go up here. And then let's rotate all his legs around. Okay. And then stand. Don't know how this animation is going to turn out. I literally did that in like 20 seconds, right? Let's see. If we do that, we're also going to have to animate the head. I think that's where the problems show up. Okay, first of all, if you don't change the head, he's going to look... You know when you're standing in a line and you're trying to go somewhere, and someone abruptly pushes his way and stands in front of you? Well, that's my reaction. But anyway, of course you have to animate the head as well. So let's do a keyframe here. Let's go forward to 15 and let's push his head back forward. Whoa, Jesus, come on, work with me. 0 that. Tell me how this looks. To me, I think this was my problem, that it looked a bit funky. It looked very funky to me. Okay, the animation only goes up to 10. Let's drop that there. Okay. How does that look to you guys? If this looks fine, I mean, this kind of looks fine to me in hindsight. I think that it was when I first started out that I thought this was a problem. Let's see. Ooh, excuse me. She goes, and then how is he able to sleep in the prologue? That's when I figured it out. That's when I figured it out. That's when I started moving the head like this to try to get away. Maybe if I rotate him in this direction, it would look a bit stranger. Because this is how he was sleeping in the prologue, right? I'm not sure exactly what it was, but it was something to do with shoving this forward and making it look funny. I think in the prologue, I didn't do this. I didn't do this in the prologue. I think his head was clipping in the prologue. I just let it clip through halfway. Friendly says, no, it doesn't work because it looks like his head got slayed. It got, like, shoved, like, forward, right? Josiah says it looks fine. Arcdog will squish his face because he would also squish. He looks like he broke his neck. Angel says, maybe don't make his body fully flat. Just a simple shape. What the fuck is that? When someone tickles your neck. Oh, when someone tickles your neck. Okay. Friendly says don't lift it, just rotate it. Could do that as well. Could do that as well. So this is what I did for the omoplata that you saw just now. This is what I did. He simply goes like that. However, if I say lay down with your head down, that's not how you do it. Your head's not down. This could work. This could work as well, right? That's a good suggestion, Friendly Scout. That's a very good suggestion. Sideways brings you a different problem. I think sideways is arguably a bigger problem than flat down, because I don't think I have a solution for this one. You guys might, right? Let's do the same thing. Let's grab Arcdoc here, and let's knock him over. Whoops, too far. Let's knock him over. The problem with lying down sideways is, where do I stop? Do I stop here, where he just has a super damn strong arm, or do I stop here, where he misses an arm? I think my solution for this, right? I think this is what I did in the prologue animation, was I would rotate this upwards like so, and then I would kind of move it like that. So a majority of it would still be clipping. However, if you looked at it from some sort of weird angle like this, let me grab this properly. Whoa, Jesus. Now something like that still kind of works. So I think that was my solution. However, it is still clipping. So you have to keep that in mind. If you looked at it from here, it might look a bit funky for some people. For me, this is fine until you lift up. Because if you choose to rotate and stand up, all of a sudden, all that stuff that was clipping becomes super damn obvious. Especially when you're lying down as well. If you go like that, that's a bit funky. That's a bit funky. Woo! I completely finished my beer during a live stream, which I have not done in a while. And it's only 45 minutes in and I've finished the beer. I'm gonna go need another drink in a bit. Josiah says, by the way, Chafe, I have this next week completely free from work and stuff and want to dedicate my free time to YouTube. Great. If you have any advice or ideas on how I can grow most in a week, I'm all ears. Okay. I'll think about that and answer you in a bit. Remind me to get back to it. NRP says, I hate animating animals. I agree with you so damn much. I cannot animate animals to save my life. Any quadrupeds, like anything with 4 legs, man, I cannot animate. Like, you ever see someone walk with, like, you know how a normal walk is, right? Your left arm goes forward, your right arm goes backwards, and then your left leg goes forward, and your right leg goes backwards. So it's like opposite, right? You switch your arms and your legs. You ever see someone walking with, like, the same leg and the same arm at the same time? When I animate animals, it's worse than that. When I animate animals, all of a sudden, one of their legs won't move at all and they'll slide on the ground. Next thing you know, he's doing a backflip and a somersault to a handstand. Man, I don't know how to animate four-legged animals. I just don't know what's going on. Finally says, hey team, are you drunk? Man, if you're gonna refer to me, I ain't a team by myself. Harry is not here right now. He's not in the live stream. You can't refer to me as team. You gotta refer to me as Chafe, mate. I'm not getting drunk. It's just 1 beer. The final thing that I wanted to get over, not just lying down, right? The final thing with the head that I wanted to get over in terms of limitations with Minecraft animations. Let's grab our good friend ArcDoc here, and then let's grab our other good friend right over here. And let's try to choke his ass out. So let me have ArcDoc go on his knees real quick, so that just lowers his level a little bit. And we're gonna have Chafe stand over here and choke him out. I've never tried this before, but I have a hunch that this probably will not work, or it's gonna look very, very strange because of the nature of how chokes have to be. First of all, when a choke is applied, I have to be dangerously close to someone's body. I have to stick my body into the other person's body in order to control them. If there is space between me and the person that I'm trying to choke out, they can get away using that space because they can turn, right? The way you get out of a choke, I'm just going to use this bunny, this little stuffed bunny over here, right? If I have a choke locked on like this, right? This is just a one-handed rear naked choke, okay? If there is space between me and this bunny can turn in this way just because there is space, and he will get out of the choke, right? If there was no space, it would be much harder for this bunny to go anywhere because I'm touching him, and I also the bunny can't move anywhere because I'm stuck to him. If the bunny were to try to move forward, I would go forward with the bunny. So that's why you have to stick your bodies on when doing chokes. This is the case for any sort of submission if you're doing any sort of animation regarding joint locks. NRP says that... Whew! God damn! NRP says that was also the reason I had to cancel my animation because it looks stupid as hell. Well, my first animation looks stupid as hell. By the way, guys, my first animation is still available on YouTube. I've never taken it down. Let me try to pull it up real quick. I know some of you guys have seen it before. I'm just gonna pull it up real quick. Right here. This is my first ever animation that I've ever done way back. Looks like this was 2014. I'm pretty sure I did this in 2013, but okay, whatever. This looks dumb. This looks really, really dumb. I still published it. So I don't know what you mean by dumb in that. I mean, I don't know what you mean when you say stupid. Is it looks stupid because you're not skilled enough as an animator like I was when I was making this? Or is it stupid just because of the nature of the weirdness of the Minecraft body? Thank you for the $1.98 donation, Angelo. Says, choke me, daddy. Oh, I'm so close to getting my coffee. Guys, I only need 12 more cents in order to buy my coffee that is now negative 341 hours old. I love that you guys finally noticed that after negative 200 something hours. I just kind of left it. I just kind of let it go. You can just leave it. Oh, fuck. We removed that from the original story. Don't worry about that. That's not lore. That's not canonical. Ignore that completely. That ain't there anymore. Oh my god. I just realized. Yo, Lev team. Fucking Andrea and shit. Look, it's the old wind shear. Right here. There. It's the old wind shear from way back ago. Holy shit. I remember this. I didn't know how to model in Minecraft animation. I didn't know how to create Minecraft models, so I built this inside Minecraft. And then I used Mineways to export that as like an OBJ, and I imported that as a model instead of modeling it in Cinema right there. So that's all made of tiny little Minecraft blocks. Anyway, that's a little trivia thing. You guys don't know what wind shear is, but you will. You will. Blue Crystal says someone donate 12 cents. Yeah, someone give me 12 cents. I gotta afford that coffee. It's gonna be negative 304. It really is old coffee at this time, guys. It's old coffee. Designs a silly chafe. You can't choke a slime. We can't joint lock a slime. We definitely cannot joint lock a slime. That's written in lore. I've specifically wrote that you cannot joint lock. Okay, so the first problem here is that this is not some sort of yaoi romance novel. So this chafe is inside ArcDoc. There are better ways to phrase that sentence, and that I chose the worst one. So if we have learned anything from what we just did, the solution to this is to shove this back. But we see a little problem here, where this is if someone decapitates your head, not tickles your head. No, this is when someone takes your head off. It's a slight little problem. Okay, so let's pretend that didn't happen. Let's try to throw this arm around. Here's the thing about chokes. Here's something I guarantee you 100% of you did not know about chokes. Okay, let me switch back to my face cam real quick. When you choke someone out, picture a choke. How does it look, right? That choke that I just did, if I do this choke, how does it look? Most of you guys would have thought it looked something along the lines of this, right? If someone was behind me, their arm would be here. That's wrong. Because a choke does not happen when you block your airways. A choke isn't when your air isn't going to your lungs. No. A choke is actually applied, or a proper choke, right? Not an air choke. An air choke is not a proper choke. A proper choke is a blood choke. On your neck, you have two carotid arteries on either side of your neck. These go to your brain. If you were to cut off both carotid arteries to your brain would not receive blood, and you'd pass out. When I receive a choke, it does not look like this, it looks like this. Because this side is clamping down on one carotid, the other side is clamping down on the other carotid, right? Don't try to choke yourself out. But a common way to do it is to grab your collar on both sides, because this means both carotid would be targeted. Excuse me, and squeeze. Don't do that. I know what I'm doing. I'm a professional. Don't do that. It's a powerful choke. It's called a cross collar. That one that I just did, if you're wondering. Cross collar choke. But anyway, that explains how it works. Slimes don't have two carotid arteries, but we're going to use that anyway. This means that Chafe will have to get his elbow underneath the chin of ArcDoc. I completely missed that loot. I looked away for 2 seconds and was gone. Let's bend his arm first. He needs to get this part underneath his chin. How is that even going to work, right? So let's see. If I rotate this forward, we could potentially get something where the arm, okay, something like that. So here, perfect. That's a perfect arm position. That's perfect arm position right there, right? And I think this is fine with the body as well, because the body connection is still there. So he's still kind of connected to ArcDoc. Only problem now is the head, because Minecraft characters have such massive ass heads. How do you do this? How? You know? And it's not like you can, it's not like a choke is a very fast move. No, a choke, you gotta hold that on for like a solid 2 or 3 seconds, right? How can you get away with this? Because you can't do this fast. If it was a judo throw, for example, like in the Levislier prologue, right? At the end where Arkosh takes out his underarm, stabs the dude in the chest, he actually does a judo throw and then stabs him again. That was so fast, none of you guys noticed any of the clipping. So that's perfectly fine. How do you get away with this? You know, do you move that back there? Like that's not right. That's definitely not right, right? I think maybe if you were doing it from this angle, you may be able to get away with doing something along the lines of that. However, his body is missing. Let me think real quick. Okay, never mind. It would be on the other side. You'd pop your head out on this side. That still looks a bit dumb. Maybe something along the lines of that you could get away with, but you'd have to use this camera angle. If you did that, everything would fall apart right there. Yeah, just says choke me, daddy. Don't do that choke. That choke is one of the worst chokes. I've got an even worse one. I don't want to show it. I don't want to show. Okay, if anyone gets me that coffee, I'll show you the chokes. It's literally 12 cents. I've got a much worse choke that it's gonna look ridiculous when I do it. Adam says this live stream is kind of strange and it's also kind of scientific. Well, I mean, no, the choke thing is, it like nobody knows it, but it's so obvious once you get the hang of it. Okay, guys, don't choke yourself, right? But if you just apply pressure onto the side of your neck, you can really feel it. Just because you limit the amount of blood going up, you're not gonna choke yourself doing this, but you can start feeling it in your head. Like that you can really understand how chokes work. Sunday says, am I late? No, you're a bit late. You're like an hour in, but I saw you in earlier. Sunday, I saw you like before the stream started. I saw you commenting a little bit. Josiah said, did the loots disappear when you saw views? Oh, that might be it. Maybe. Wait, Adam, you said spoilers? I didn't know there were spoilers. There were no spoilers here. Adam, I don't think there were any spoilers here. The only thing that I said so far is wind shear. But wind shear isn't a spoiler. It's just his sword. That's the name of his sword. That's all you need to know. There's nothing to it. Beautiful says Chafe needs to bend his back or something. Bend his back. Oh. When you said Chafe, I thought you meant me. I thought you were like, I gotta bend my back or something. No, the Chafe Rahitan in here needs to bend his back. Yeah, no, he needs to rotate his hip and then unrotate his chest a little bit so that he can go like that, so that the bend in his spine is not so unnatural. So that would be the correct position. That looks fine to me. It's only the head. Again, it's these massive, bubble heads. I want someone to print Minecraft figures, but bobbleheads. Doesn't that look a bit menacing? It looks like, because I've had ArcDoc crouched right now. It looks like this dude just has a massive head and he's, menacing behind him. Hey, turns out ArcDoc is a stand user, and his stand name is Chafe. There you go, Harry. You watching? Josiah says, by the way, Lucha Spears X. I haven't gotten to that yet. I might. Let me think when I have spare time. Because I just finished watching an anime, so I do have spare time now to watch extra stuff. I could. Friendly says, why does Team not read my comments? I'm going to have a stroke. What? I don't get it. Sunday says, yeah, I'm a comment early, so I got some food and come back. Okay, that's no worries, man. Hope you had some good food. Sunday says, what kind of animation are you going to make? I'm not really making any animation right now. I'm more or less going over... Right now, what I just finished doing was going over the limitations of Minecraft animations. And that is that Minecraft figures have different proportions and, body shapes to human beings. And so when you're doing something like a choke, for example, in a fight animation, you're going to run into problems where it doesn't look quite right. That doesn't look quite right. And so I was talking about the limitations of Minecraft animations as well as... different ways to think about fights, because when you picture a fight in your head, what you think about is punches and kicks, or you may be thinking of guys swing swords at each other. What you don't think about is grappling, or submissions, or chokes, or maybe throwing someone out a window, or smashing through a wall, or using the environment in any way or shape, shape or form. So my little exercise there was to get people, when they think about fights, to think about fights a little bit differently, how they can use different environments to spice up their fights. Remember this, guys. Just a key rule. Key rule for any animators here, especially if you're considering joining Team WNJ. Anytime you make a fight, whether it's a film or an animation or a drawing or a book or whatever, anytime there's a fight in a fictional setting, the least interesting way that you can do the fight is for them to actually fight. Now, granted, if you have two people who really don't like each other, they have to fight because they really don't like each other. So they're going to have to throw punches and kicks at each other. However, to make the fight more interesting, ensure that they're fighting in an interesting environment. Give them interesting situations if they're not in a good environment. So let's say someone barges into my house right now, and I have to get into a fight, right? instead of me standing up and running at him with like some sort of flying kick and whatnot, which is what I'd probably do in real life, something more interesting might be to take a look at my surroundings and look at what I can get. So, what do I have around me? I have Swiss Army knife. That could be used. Beer bottle. That could be used. Diamond sword. That could be used. Lockpick. That could be used. You know? And you take all of those and you think, okay, how can I use, maybe not just one of these. How can I use these items in combination? Right? So I'll pick up the beer bottle or something. And then I'll smash it on the table so I can make it sharp. And then on the other hand, I'm going to grab my diamond sword and use this as a shield or something. And I'm going to run into combat. And as I run there, my bottle breaks or something. What now? I'm standing in my kitchen. Okay? Maybe I'll throw a few punches and I'll push him back. And I take a look around. It's a frying pan. But no. What's underneath the frying pan? It's the stove. Yeah, I'm going to use the stove to my advantage. So if I can grapple this guy, put him into a headlock, shove his head into the stove, turn on the fire. You know, that's just some, like, little stuff. Use your environment. Use your environment. The least... What won't be interesting? Here's what won't be interesting. Unless you're doing this with an intention in mind, right? What won't be interesting is if someone opens my door and comes in and I'll be like, hey, what the fuck? And I run at him and I flying kick his head. And he's out. That's it. End of fight. In some situations, that might be what you're after. But if you're talking about a fight scene, something to reconsider. Sunday says, you might have to learn about physics or ragdoll that might help you with more ideas. I do have a very good understanding of physics and ragdolls. However, I just don't tend to use them. Me personally, I like to animate everything physically. Manually, rather. I don't like doing things automatic. So here. Let me give you a prime example of this. In the FMR animate rig, which is the rig that I use that I have made. Can we create a new frame, please? Thank you. Here's FMR animate. It's free download. I made this. You could go get it, right? The default setting on FMR animate 1.1 and version 1 is it has smart move, which means that if you move this, the rest of the body moves. I hate this. I don't like this. Like, it's not good. Because, let me tell you why it's not good. If it's one of those, like, exception things, right? If I wanted to, what's a scenario which could break this? I gotcha. Yeah, a flying knee. Okay, a flying knee. This is where you jump up, right? You jump up with both feet, and you knee, and then you land back down. Okay. Instantly, it's not going to work, because when I lift this up... So, first of all, we're going to have to jump. So, let's hold on. Let's animate this. Let's do a flying knee. I'm going to, first of all, put them in a fight position using smart move, right? So, this is the primary example of exactly why I do not use smart move. Let's do this. So, he's going to stand in this position right over here. Let's say that's his fight stance, and he doesn't need arms, because his arms are overrated. Okay? There. Bang. Bingo. So he's going to, first of all, crouch down a little bit for anticipation. Crouch down, and then jump back up. And then, because he jumped back up, now I gotta move this. Watch. See how everything fucks up? Everything's gonna look a bit funky. We're gonna rotate this in this direction. And then it's his other leg that actually does the knee. So this is gonna be a duplicate. So let's fix that. So right here, nothing happens. Boom, he jumps up. And then the other leg right here. So let's keyframe this, move forward by 5 frames. And then move this up. So this is the actual knee that would be doing all the damage right here. Right? Bang. Big hit. Now we gotta move this up. And then this has to move. There we go. So flying knee with smart move would look something like that. You see, what the fuck happened there? Yes, the timing is wrong there. But man, that does not look right. That does not look right. It looks like he took a ghost step in mid-air. He took a step right there and kneed upwards. Alternatively, how I would do it without smart move, and this is why I prefer without smart move, is because I have much finer control. Things don't move automatically where I don't want it to move. Let's disable smart move right here, which should be the default setting. I don't know why I didn't do that, right? Again, so, fight stance. Move that leg back, rotate this one backwards, put him into the fight stance, move him downwards a little bit. Cool, rotate this leg outwards. Done. Basic fight stance. Auto keyframing on, keyframe the leg, keyframe this one, and keyframe that one. Move forward by 5 frames, drop this one down, move forward by 10, and then lift this up, like so. Take this back piece, put a keyframe on 5, move to 10, move this upwards, up to here, like so. Grab this one, keyframe on 10, move to 15, knee. So this is what's supposed to happen. While the other leg goes back down. So now if you watch this, I know the timing isn't right. I know that the timing isn't right. So he freezes in midair. That's highly unnatural because there's no keyframe on 5. So the momentum from this jump, here's where you use physics, right? Here's where I prefer using physics. So if I had a ragdoll, I'd automatically do these physics. I don't like doing this automatically. I like looking at all of this and thinking to myself, oh, this is how physics works. So he should fly to there. This should look fine. Right? And then he would land and do whatever. What's going on here? Josiah says, can you use magic or superpowers in place of environment and short scenes? Yes and no. Yes and no, Josiah. Josiah's question is, can you use magic as a substitute for environment? So in place of, right? That's what you said specifically. And I know that the second I said that, you picked up on what I was going to say. You should not substitute environments. If you have extra features like magic, add them into the environment. So, say for example, that you have the magical power of shock blast and you can shoot electricity out of your hands. Instead of just going, oh, there's a bad guy, bzzz, and then shocking the guy, right? Boring. Instead, have a physical fight go down. Maybe my mana is out. I gotta recharge my my shock blast ability. But I finally get him down. He's got me weak and whatnot. And then I see in the corner of my eye, the shower. So I go on, I turn the shower, and I throw the water on him. And he's like, oh, you got me wet. Now what? Bzzz. You know, that makes it more powerful because he's soaked in water now. So, you know, the electricity works a lot better. If you have extra elements, combine it with the environment. Don't make them exclusive. Adam says, Chafe, watch Jazza's video called Animation Smears. It might help. Animation smears aren't used in 3D. Okay, let me take that back. They can be used in 3D. However, adding them in is a pain in the ass. One of the smears that I use are smears on swords. So if we take a look at this most recent scene from Levisleer. So this is the most recent scene that I just finished from Levisleer. It's about to enter a grappling exchange. You can't see anything right now. If I disable that, you can. I put smears on swords. Like so. Right? So that's just like a little bit of a motion blur thing. When we're doing 3D animations, typically the smear we use would be motion blur instead of a full proper smear, because that stuff, you gotta have to draw that in. It's hard to do that in 3D animation because you have to build a custom rig for that. And as far as I'm aware, there is no custom rig for that. But yes, smears are useful. Smears, motion blurs, trails, any of that sort of stuff. I believe it falls under one of the principles. That's fucked. One of the principles of animation. But I forget which number it is. Friendly says, can I make a moonwalk animation? I could, but it wouldn't really relate to the topic of this video. That's fucked, by the way. I'm fully aware of that. Don't worry. That's not what's actually going to be seen. Don't worry. Hold on. I think I might have scrolled up on the chat real quick. There we go. Angelo, you got me. You got me wet. Now what? I wish Panda was here. I wish Panda was here so that she could draw me as an evil person standing like... Oh, no. So she could draw me as a weak person grabbing the shower head and showering someone with the shower. And then, like, an evil version of me getting hit in the face by a shower head. So if I'm just standing there with, like, a shower... You know that picture with, like, the little black kid holding a Jesus cross going, like that? That should be me holding a shower head. And then, like, an evil version of me getting hit by water. I'm just be like... You got me wet. Now what? And I'll throw the shower head away. I'll go, bzzz, and there'll be a face of me going, ah, from the electricity. I bet you Panda would do an amazing job at doing that. Oh, Jesus, sorry. Alright, looks like there's a whole bunch of spam, coming through from Friendly. Hey, Friendly Scout, you're gonna have to stop spamming. This is your final warning. Any more spam that I see that doesn't abide by our rules, you're going to get an instant ban. Sunday says, I know, Chef. Wrong. It's Chafe. I know, Chafe. You and Slamacow, he's just hiding himself. Dude, we've been trying to find Slamacow. So, Sunday, do you happen to know, like, so I'm friends with Arbiter from Black Plasma Studio. And also, Faris is in our Discord group, Faris Sayoff. And also, Anisvidge. So, all of us, we're trying to get either Slamacow, Blue Monkey Animations, or Freddy Sol to come join us. So that we can do a little collab together. Solar says, magic. One of my characters in the story has Cryptic Cube that only allows, that only follows one owner, but is from a certain dimension that contains a huge amount of magical powers. Cool. Find a way to integrate. If you ever get in a fight, find a way to integrate the environment. Like okay, let me give you a quick example of this, right? Remember when we first did the animation for, when we were first doing the Slime Camp raid in episode 1, so this is Levisleer spoilers. Oh, a little bit. You're not going to get too spoiled, right? What's going on, Gumayars? Welcome back. Haven't seen you in a while. So here. What's going to happen is the Cyclops is going to raid the Slime Camp. Arkosh is going to have to fight off the Cyclops while everyone else tries to escape. In the old script, they escape through this door perfectly fine. In the new script, we're introducing a big-ass rock over here that the Cyclops is going to pick up and throw to shove this hole up. So I've used the environment, because now they can't escape. They've got another element in the way that makes the problem harder. And that's what I also want to get to. Making problems harder. Gumayart says, could you reproduce the animation that you've done? I could do something. I could do something while I'm talking. Like, you know what? Let me do something. Yeah, let me do something while I'm talking, okay? I'm not going to work on Lev today because today, you know what? Let's just not make this Levisleer production diary. If this was Levisleer production diary, I'd be working on the next frame. So, okay, as an exercise for you guys, this is what's happening in the... Let me load up the page to show you guys... Okay, this is going to be a big spoiler. Let me flip away from my screen for a second so I don't show that. And then let me actually get in here. And then let me show this again. Holy shit, my face is red. Okay, so this is exactly what I just rendered. I'm still working on it. The text is a bit out of place and whatnot. You know, Andrea, if you're here, could you give me some thoughts on this, how I would lay this page out? I'm not a big fan of the text here. Anyway, take a look at this. What's going to happen next? I've already told you they're going to enter a grappling exchange. However, none of you guys, I would bet you, that none of you guys have any grappling experience, so you would have no idea what's going to happen next. So, since you don't have grappling experience, don't write grappling. What's going to happen next? Continue the story from here. Arkosh just ducks that big-ass sword swing. He's going underneath. What's next? Right. You know, like, figure something out. Make something different. You know, this is all those scenarios of what if something were to happen, right? Going back to this. I will make a short animation, maybe try to recreate something. I don't know. Because it might take me a while to recreate something. And also, I get to tend to get really focused on things. Maybe I'll just talk a little bit, and if I get the chance to recreate something, I will, Gumayarts. I will, if I get the chance to. I wanted to talk about when you're doing fight scenes, that, yes, including the environment is a very good thing. But upping the ante is even better. Finding a way to make people struggle is even better. So let me read some of the comments real quick, and I'll get to that. So think about that for a second. Angelo says, Freddy Sol actually live streaming his animations as well. Is he live streaming right now? Is he live right now? That's cool. Friendly says, I got an idea for you. Okay, well, yeah, show me your idea. Just as a chafe, you should take a walk break. I should. Everyone, we've been sitting around for an hour. Everyone should stand up and get a little moving. You know what? Let me walk away for just a second. I ran out of beer and I need some liquid down my throat. That's what she said. I'll be right back. Just give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. Keep thinking of the ideas. Let me reload that up. Let me reload this up. Right, guys. Take a look at this while I'm gone for a few seconds. Predict what's gonna happen next, or not even predict. Write your own version of what's gonna happen next. If Arcdoc does the slash, and Arkosh ducks underneath and he shoots in, and he's got a dagger in this hand. What's next? Be right back. I'm good. Oh, fucking... Ow! My knee! Ha! I took a page right out of Harry's book there. How? Ow! Ow! That hurt. I hit the corner. The corner of the damn table. The corner! Not the flat of it, the corner. My knee. Ow! I'm good. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Oh! Damn! I still feel that. That hurt. That hurt. Ow. Jesus. Oh! I pumped the table so hard. Like, this fucking thing spewed upwards. You're wondering what happened. I tried to pull myself forward using my leg, but as I lifted my leg up to pull myself, I smashed the corner of my table. Oh. Someone's gonna clip that. Alright, let's read your suggestions. I saw a few good ones before I left. So let's see. Sunday first says the most big collab Minecraft animation is Captain Sparkles and Ninja singing. Oh, you mean with you're saying I should collab with them? Yeah, dude. No, that's a damn good idea. Yeah, dude. Okay, I never thought about that before, but that's actually a pretty fun idea. If I could collab with Captain Sparkles and Ninja, and we could make something. Yeah, that'd be sick. Something for Lev. Something to continue fear. Woohoo! We got something. Oh, dude. Okay, guys. Just to build a little bit of lore for you guys in Levislayer. So in Levislayer, the Warlord's helmet. So this is the Warlord's helmet. Every single Warlord for all major cities in Lazuria wears this particular helmet, right? Except the champion, who wears a golden one. Before you say anything, Chafe is not the champion. Chafe is not the champion. I am aware that the gold thing is on there. I can't change my skin because I have a legacy account. So I physically cannot change the skin on my account. It's just too old. I can't get into the account, okay? So Chafe is not the champion. That's a mistake. With the Warlords, how they get the Warlord helmet and the Warlord title is that they have to defeat the previous Warlord in a sanctioned duel. There's a Warlord event that happens every single year in Arcadia, the city in Lazuria. So that's an event where the Lords and the Warlords and all the best fighters gather in this one tournament and they celebrate their military prowess by fighting one another, and they fight for the Warlord title, right? Arkosh is the ex-Warlord of Hemorrhage City. By the time he's raiding Dire Shield, he's the ex-Warlord. He is no longer the current Warlord of Hemorrhage. The current Warlord is Chafe. So something has happened there. Think about that for a second. If you're wondering what I'm building to throughout the entire story of Lev, and there would be if I were to put a prequel down, guess what that prequel would include? Guess what major fight and major hype that would include, right? And once you see Arkosh's powers, Arkosh's real powers in Levislayer episode 1, the question, because we know who wins, because Chafe is the current Warlord. If Chafe is the current Warlord, that means he has to have beaten Arkosh. The question will be how, right? And that's going to be a fun thing to answer. But because we do have that Chafe versus Arkosh battle, that has to happen, right? If we were to do something with do a collab with Sparkles and Tryhard Ninja, and we were to make some sort of new song, just kind of like what we did for Fear, imagine if we did a prologue for a prequel for Chafe. Imagine that. Think about it. That'd be fun. Alrighty, let's hear suggestions for the scene. Josiah said, hang on. Okay, Adam was the first one. Adam says he's going to kick the sword out of his hand and continue the fight. He's going to kick the sword. How? Okay. You don't have to bother answering me, Adam. Don't bother answering me. I'm just gonna fly through all of them, right? Josiah says Arkosh rises and tackles Arkdoc to the ground, shifting his grip to do a simplistic armbar hold. Close to what I have, right? By the way, none of these are wrong. If you guys have an idea, I'm not trying to get you guys to predict exactly what I wrote. I'm trying to get you guys to write something that you could do. So I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just trying to compare this to what I'm doing. So you can do whatever the hell you want if you were in this situation. Just trying to get you guys to think a little bit, right? Angelo says, jump in the camera and say I'm gay. That's something you would do. That's something you would do, Angelo. Arkosh will punch Arcduck in the slime balls. Oof. Oof. Solar says, Arkosh will try to stab, and then Arcduck will evade. Arkosh throws his dagger to Arcduck. Arcduck gets hit on the side. Okay, interesting. By throwing the dagger. Okay, interesting, interesting. And then I smash my knee in. Okay, that's when I smash my knee, and that's how I know. Not over there. Josiah says, Arkosh dashes behind Arcduck and turns around, spinning the blade an inch in front of Arkosh's neck. Yield. We've already done that. You got it so close. You got it so close, Josiah. Okay, since you predicted that, we've already done that, Paige. So let me show exactly what happened there. Hang on. You mean like this? Because that's already been done in the previous page. That's already been done. Yumeart says he could fall down, and then the one with the sword, so Arcduck tries to stab him with a vertical stab, and he rolls on the side and dodges the sword and pricks the cape. You understand? Okay, I getcha. Interesting, interesting. Sunday says Arkosh will kick Arcduck in the knee. Arcduck will fall, and Arkosh will punch him in the face, but Arcduck will get away. And I don't know. I'm sorry for your knee. Thank you for the sorry. I feel sorry for my knee as well. Don't worry. Angelo says, when Chafe says, ow my knee, I felt that. Harry. Oh, fuck, that's good. That's good. Okay. Blue Crystal says, maybe when he dashes down, he could do a roll or something and grab downwards. Maybe to a throw and to a distraction and an attack. You guys are getting real close. I can show you. I have everything drawn down. Everything is drawn down. I can show you exactly what happens, okay? Everything is right there, so I can show you guys. Friendly says, I really want to read this comic so really badly. Every page that I finish will go up to Patreon as I'm finishing them. So guys, if you support me on Patreon, patreon.com/teamwnj, even at the $1 donation tier, you will have access to every single Levisleer page as I'm finishing them. Also, when I do finish the entire, everything, it will be released entirely for free. There will also be an animated version on this channel, and you can also buy a physical copy. Anyone who purchases a Levisleer t-shirt, which I will run and grab, give me 5 seconds. This time I will not hit my knee. Anyone who purchases a Levisleer t-shirt, please get the white one. Do not get the black one, okay? The white one is better than the black one, honestly. And, I have the black one, and I have the white one. The white one is a lot better. I gave that one to Harry. Anyone who buys the Levisleer merch will get a free version of the Levisleer manga when it releases, and I will ship that to you completely free of charge. And you can buy merch through my website in the link in the description. Just kind of pop open the description, scroll down to the bottom. There should be a levisleer.weebly.com link. And then once you go onto the site, there's a merch tab right there. By the way, it's not just t-shirts. T-shirts, mugs, posters, anything. Anything. As long as you're able to get it, take a picture of it, and then post it onto our Discord server, that's how I know that you have bought it. Then I'll be able to send it to you. The manga, I mean. NRP says I don't follow stories. Sorry. That's alright, NRP. Cool. Friendly says, I don't know Patreon and I will never use it. Mini PewDiePie chair. What do you mean mini PewDiePie chair? I don't get you. Okay. Let me show you guys exactly what I did. Thank you for following me, Lark the God Cow over on Twitch. I'm mainly streaming over on YouTube, by the way, so I'm sorry if I can't read your Twitch messages. I kind of see them, but they go by relatively fast. Okay, so for the reveal, right? For comparison's sake, let me load up the page that I just had. So let me switch back to my face cam real quick so I don't show spoilers. this is the page that you guys were just looking at, and this is what I told you guys to kind of write up what you think will happen next, or just something that you want to happen next. You know, like as a writer, exercise your brain a little bit. How it looks on the page is like this. Right, so there's your comparison. That's what I drew out in person. Right. What happens next is over... Wait, where the hell? Over here. What the fuck? Hang on a second. Let me switch this. Over... This one. Right there. Perfect. So, okay, this page is a bit... This page... Right here. This one, right? This page is a bit wrong. Because this stuff on the bottom should go on the top. What he does after he ducks under, remember he has a knife in this hand, and the other hand has no weapon. So he ducks down, he shoves his hand into ArcDoc's face, and he puts his knife behind ArcDoc's knee. Then he is able to push using his hand upwards, upwards like so, to make ArcDoc fall backwards that way. Wait, it's mirrored. It's mirrored, guys. I'm not retarded. Don't worry. It's just a bit. Hang on, let me stand up. It's mirrored. Okay, here you go. I might sound a bit softer, but I hope this comes through. Fly this way. Okay. But he would normally just fly that way if he could. However, his knee right there is trapped, so he can't, and therefore he will fall over. And that's what happens. He just falls over and he gets knocked out unconscious. There you go. Sunday says, yeah, I might have to go watch the story. Hey, Sunday, the link is in the description. It's Levisleer. Let me, for anyone who's new, by the way, for anyone who hasn't seen any of the Levisleer stuff, let me real quick show you, let me just take a few seconds to show you this little trailer, just so you guys know what Levisleer is, right? Most of you guys have probably seen this before, but I'm just going to show it anyway, just for all the new viewers. Levisleer has been a passion project of mine for the past 6 years.
Devil is a slime, wielding 2 blades the same tone as he. He dons a cloak, red like the blood of his victims. His armor, adamant like his will to fight. Isn't that right? Arkosh Levisleer.
Oh yeah, I'm scared, but it's what makes me stronger. I keep on fighting, draw my strength from the fear.
There you go. I'm sure some of you guys have seen that before, but if you haven't, I hope you enjoyed that little trailer. If you want to watch the prologue of Levisleer that I showed at PAX Australia 2018, you can find a link in the description down below. By the way, speaking of PAX, PAX Australia 2019 is a thing, and I will be speaking at PAX again. So anyone who is going to PAX Australia this October from 11th to 13th of October in Melbourne, Australia, come find me on the 13th. I'll be giving a panel on the ultimate guide to world building. Excuse me, let me try to say that again. The ultimate guide to world building, where I give you guys practical tips on how to write big stories with big lore, lots of history for every single character in your story, and just kind of build up an entire universe. I don't want to just give random little tips that you guys can think about. I instead want to give functional, usable tools that you guys can use, so the second you finish going to my panel, you'll be able to exit and be able to create your own worlds. That will be my panel on PAX Australia 2019 here in Melbourne, Australia, October 11th to 13th. I will be on the 13th. That is a Sunday at 11 a.m. It will not be live stream, by the way. It will not. Just making sure. Thank you, everyone, for the comments on the trailer. Thank you, Friendly. Angelo says, slimes are really OP. They die from old age. Your weapons won't damage them. Actually, your weapons will damage them. In Levisleer lore, slimes are easier to damage than humans because the only thing stopping their inners from coming out is a thin membrane rather than skin. Excuse me. You can't poke them. You can definitely puncture them, right? And they're very easy to puncture. That's what slimes are. You can choke them, but not in the conventional way. Also, I just told you, Angelo, did you learn anything? You don't choke someone with air. You choke someone with carotid arteries on the side of their necks, not the airway. The way slimes get choked out, what we've written, is that they have a neutral density all throughout their body. Like, they have a density of slime, right? If you grab the slime and you push everything forward, the pressure in that area is too high for them. And so if you squeeze their neck, all that pressure is going to their head, and that will end up causing them to pass out. So you can definitely choke out a slime. You cannot break a slime's arm because they don't have bones. And so if you snap it backwards, it's just kind of like, it's gonna flop instead of ripping off. Also, their tensile strength is really strong, so you can't rip off a limb from a slime as much as you can cut it. So cutting it or piercing it is the easiest way to kill a slime. Adam says this action looks really like one of the Assassin's Creed ones. Assassin's Creed is a major inspiration to my life and to all the combat stuff that I do. If you guys want to know stuff that I really like looking at, like combat stuff that I really like looking at, take a look specifically at the Assassin's Creed series, specifically from Assassin's Creed 1 all the way to Assassin's Creed Rogue. Not Unity, not Odyssey, not Origins, all the way up to Rogue. All the way up to there. Another game that you can look at, Sleeping Dogs. Not only is Sleeping Dogs taking place in Hong Kong, the place where I grew up, it's also a great game with a great story and great combat. So you guys don't know what Sleeping Dogs is? It's basically Grand Theft Auto in Hong Kong, but with a twist of Hong Kong flavor into it. You play as an undercover cop working for a corrupt police agency. So just think about that for a second. It's a really good game. Sleeping Dogs. Go check it out if you haven't already. The combat there, specifically the combat, that has inspired a lot for Level 3 combat. 30 minutes. Thank you, Eric. Shizuko says the fire affects slimes. Yes, it does. Slimes can definitely get burned. Benny says you choke for coffee. I don't choke for coffee because I still have 12 cents left until I can actually get my coffee, Friendly Scout. Just because it punched them in the neck. Jesus. Yeah, Angelo, they don't even have veins. Yeah, that's right. The body is just slime juice. The question still stands. How do slimes reproduce? And then also, how do slimes digest food? I thought that when a slime eats, it just kind of puts it into their mouth, and then it goes in, and then it just kind of like... That's what I thought. What's going on, Kick Bear? What's going on? Welcome to the live stream. Cam, you're finally here. Hey, man. Let's see. Oh, right, Syndicate. Yeah, I just completely forgot about Syndicate. No, Assassin's Creed Syndicate is such a forgettable game. I'm not saying that's a bad game. I love Syndicate, right? However, Syndicate... There's inherent flaws with Syndicate in that the parkour is gone. Because most of the time you're using the rope dart. And you have to have the rope dart. That's the thing. You have to have the rope dart in Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Because imagine spending 5 minutes climbing a building every single time, only to go down on the other side and having to climb up again. Right? And the zipping around, that is fun. That is so fun. However, as an Assassin's Creed game, that just falls a bit short. Sunday says, I think you see a shadow behind me. I wouldn't be surprised, because probably my green screen wasn't... Probably this light here is not lighting up my green screen as well as it should. Because the light over there might be casting a shadow on me. That would be casting a shadow on the green screen. So if you see a shadow, like... I think I just saw a little one, I'm not sure. Might be on here. I have no idea. Cam says, where's the fight animation at? I'm only going over the... Oh, wait. I just noticed my face. I'm only going over principles of fight animation. So I started off the stream by talking about different ways to think about fight animations. So instead of just thinking about people punching and kicking or throwing sword strikes at each other, think about grappling or using the environment, especially using the environment. Then I talked about limitations of Minecraft characters because they have different proportions to us. Their heads are too big to do certain things. Their arms and their shoulders are too short to do certain things. And that will limit the amount of moves that you can do, and you have to find a way to work around those. And then I'm not sure what the third one was. I completely forgot about that. But did want to talk about, yes, this one. This was the third topic, is making things harder. I completely forgot about this. Making things harder for your characters. This is important, right? NRP says I was getting it for my birthday. Oh, were you getting Syndicate or were you getting Sleeping Dogs? I would recommend Sleeping Dogs over Assassin's Creed Syndicate, by the way. Let me open up the slime camp scene for you guys. This is exactly what I mean by making it difficult. So anyone who was in the stream for, a while, you would have just heard me talk about the big rock in Levislear blocking the gate and stopping the slimes from going out. That was changed from the original where such a rock did not exist. Let me see if I can find what the original said. Right. So here is Levislear episode 1 in physical form. And this is draft 9 from 2018. Right now we are on draft 11. In here, during the slime camp attack, what happens is, I can summarize the beginning of the attack. Let's see. I mean, I'm just not sure what I want to read out. And also how much would be spoilers. Okay, let me lay out the first page for you, right? This is the first page of the slime camp attack. So after all the peacefulness, the Cyclops finally shows up and he's there to demolish all the slimes. Scene 6, external slime camp, day, overcast. Remember, this is all changed. So you may think there are spoilers here. This is all different. We'll completely remove this and change it into something even better. Hammering sounds from the slime outside begins to fade. From the blacksmith slime outside begins to fade, along with the conversations of other slimes. The trees stop blowing in the wind as the breeze stops. Everything seems to freeze still until... boom! An explosion at the rear entrance. All the slimes turn to look. The door is still up, but they are scared and curious as to what happened. The rear gate, by the way, being this gate right over here. There's a little gate. I'm not sure if you guys can see it right there. You can see where the path goes? That gate. That gate is still up. But they're all scared and curious to what happens. So they look over in that direction. Arkosh and Arkdot exit their home to see what's happening. Arkosh, what's going on? Arkosh is stunned, showing an expression of fear. All the slimes look up to the roof of the house. This house right here. A big Enderman, a tall, dark purple, demented being is perched on the roof, looking down at the camp with a single glowing purple eye. The Enderman's mouth begins to open wide, showing its menacing white teeth as it begins to make demonic sounds that get louder and louder. The slimes cannot take their eyes off of the Endermans. Silence. The reflection of the Enderman in Arkdok's eyes are broken by BAM! Another explosion. This time, the rear gate of the camp is breached. Debris and smoke covers the gate. An arrow whizzes through the gate, impaling Mesdeth in the chest. Janhoff. What the hell? Slimes start panicking. Those who can fight grab their weapons, and while others begin to seek shelter as skeletons and zombies begin invading. Spiders climb over the walls, witches stand behind the zombies and skeletons, waiting to heal them. That's the first page. Right. So the thing here is that it's a very simple fight. There is a good guy side, the slimes, and then there is a bad guy side, which is all these hostile mobs running in. It is a direct fight. To me, reading that out, I don't find that too interesting. There may have been some fancy writer words in there. Like if I decided to read that like a professional writer, maybe that would sound good. But fundamentally, the way I read it does not change what is actually written. And for me, having two sides smashing each other is kind of boring. So in the new version, I'm not going to read the new version for you, but I will summarize it. In the new version, there are no longer zombies, skeletons, and spiders. The only thing that is invading is the Cyclops, who will still climb over this building, and the stuff that will invade is instead going to be other forms of Enderman, right? So we don't just have one Enderman in Levislear. We have the Cyclops Enderman, we have the corrupted Enderman, and everything else, right? And it's just like different names for the different, so we can organize the files, right? We just call them Enderman anyway. Now, Angelo has to go. All right, see you, Angelo. Yeah, see ya. Now. Imagine this. So all these zombies and skeletons, they're all coming in from this side, okay? They're all coming in from the back side. This side is still open. That's how they all managed to escape in the first draft. That's easy, right? That fight is easy. That escape is easy. That entire event is easy. I thought to myself, okay, how can we make this more interesting, right? How can we possibly make this more interesting? Let's make it difficult for them. First of all, the zombies, skeletons, and spiders, that's just non-canon, and that didn't fit into the story. We got rid of all of them. I thought it was a cool idea. We just had to swap them, right? Gone. The Cyclops comes in here, and I've already told you he picks up a big boulder and he blocks that off, okay? So he blocks off this gate, so the slimes cannot exit through this gate, and they certainly cannot exit through that gate because the Cyclops is standing right there. That makes one thing harder. They cannot escape. Second of all, because in the original draft, everything hostile was coming in from this direction over here, they were able to all back off to this side. In the new version, what happens is things come in from everywhere, from every single direction, surrounding them. That makes life a lot harder, right? So remember when a few streams ago, I asked you guys, what would your solution be to that big rock? If the big rock was blocking this boulder, blocking this path, how would you get past it? You cannot push the boulder, you cannot slip under the boulder, and you cannot climb the boulder, right? Some people suggested breaking through the walls. I said, okay, let's make that harder. Let's make it that they can't break it through the walls. How can we make it harder? When the Endermen come in and invade, let's have one standing at a certain point at a wall. So within this side of the wall, there might be like 5 Endermen just standing at the wall. If anyone approaches the wall, they get killed by the Enderman. So you can't just approach the wall. You can't break down the wall. What next? What next? And people are trying to find different solutions to it. It forces you to think way outside the box because you keep putting boundaries on yourself. You can't do this. You can't do that. What are your options? You get left with so few options, and the only options are so obscure that when you actually pull it off, you might even be surprised that it works. And if the writer gets surprised, you're like, oh, so that thing that I introduced 3 episodes ago, you mean that thing that I thought was useless, all of a sudden that comes in handy right now, and that's the key to the solution, and I already showed it 3 episodes ago as foreshadowing, and unintentionally now it is now useful, and that is the key? Oh, like that happens so often while writing Levels 3. We have so many different branches and so many different things that happen that as we progress the story, we're like, okay, if they get pinned into this situation, hang on a second. They can't get out that way, but there was a character that I introduced then that just so happens to be related to that character, that just so happens to exist in the same time period, that just so happens to have the same weapons. So in that scenario, that would be the key to the solution. Like that's just a random example that I came up with, but that happens so often. So when you force yourself into a harder situation, if you got a conflict going on and you say if it's just a military conflict between 2 people and they're just shooting each other, that's boring. If one side all of a sudden ran out of ammo, that'd be interesting, right? Make it harder for one side. Guys, please keep your comments in English friendly. I've seen you're doing some spam again. I've already warned you, so unfortunately, I'm going to have to ban you. Bye. Should go horror movie logic. You can hear the noise and go for it. Bitch, I'm ready. Now, see, horror movie logic is hearing a creepy sound at a creepy location and then thinking to yourself, there's something in there. You walk inside. That's horror movie logic. That's also the logic of urban explorers. I think they're called urbex. I've been watching a few of their videos. I don't know why. I'm just kind of like, they kind of get me interested. Kinda. Yeah, I like giving myself some creeps sometimes. I don't get scared that often. I like creeping myself out. Let's see. Darklight Boy is here. What's going on, Darklight? Are you still here? Oh, by the way, guys. I have 2. Did Adam have to go as well? All right, see you, Adam. I have to say, remember that we are hiring editors to come help edit the highlight series for the Team WNJ channel. This will be a paid job. I think that we've got quite a few good applicants in right now. Excuse me. So I think what I'll do is confirm all the applicants on Sunday. And then we should I'm expecting a little bit of like a training course with them, just to make sure that everyone else is on the same page and they know how to use the software and they know my style and what I'm doing and why I'm doing something. And so that should be done on Monday or something along the lines of that. And from that point onwards, give us a week and you should start seeing you should start seeing weekly content again on this channel. So I'm expecting maybe like 2 weeks from now, you're going to start seeing weekly content, like weekly highlights from the channel. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. We finally get back on schedule. I like it. Okie dokie. So I've talked about thinking outside the box, using the environment. I've talked about limitations of Minecraft rigs, and I've talked about making the situation harder. One final thing that I want to talk about, since we only have 20 or 14 minutes left. It was in my mind, but it kind of slipped out. So give me 1 second as it pops back in. I'm not exactly sure, but I did have a fourth one planned out, and this would be the final one. So it's making things harder, and then... Right. How am I going to tie this back in the story? So, Josiah. Is Josiah still here? Did Josiah have to go? Because I haven't seen Josiah for a while. Yeah, not sure where Josiah is. Hopefully Josiah is still here. But we have to bridge this back into writing stories. So it says, Monday's your exam day. Good luck, Solar. Good luck, Solar. There's nothing to be worried about. It's just an exam. Guys, you're also worked about exams. If you surround yourself with people who are always worried about exams, you're going to get worried about exams. Wouldn't it be a lot easier if you just thought to yourself, oh, it's just an exam? You know, as long as I get good grades over it, I'll be fine. I don't, like, people look at me and they're like, what are you talking about, Julian? Like, how does that work? I don't get it. It's like, chill. Chill. It's an exam. What's so special about that? Okay, Josiah's still here. Cool. What's going on, Ruben Wares? Welcome to the live stream. Okay. Right. Final topic is how we're going to loop a fight back into a story. How can you use fights to improve your stories, right? A very bad example is the Love Steer prologue. Because what the prologue was for was to show animation. It was not really to show story. There was a little bit of story in there. Had to just kind of fit it in canonically. But primarily, the job of the prologue was to make that fight animation and to capture people's attention and be like, wow, dude, that fight scene, that was cool. Right? Like, that was the main job. To tie a fight back into an animation. This is something that Bragger brought up. Bragger brought up last stream when I asked you guys, what are some questions about lore? And Bragger said something along the lines of plot versus character development. And I responded with, plot is character development. Plot without character development, that's just filler. You don't want to write filler, so you have to make sure you have character development in. And something really interesting is that you can use combat. Combat would be plot, right? Combat would fall into the category of plot. And so you can use combat as a way to do character development. One of a really, really good way to get people invested into a fight, and this might sound obvious, right, is to put something on the line. And it sounds really obvious, but so many people don't bother doing this. And it's as simple as this. Right? You have two forces going against each other. For simplicity's sake, let's say there is just two forces and they are fighting against each other. Okay. You got to think, why are they fighting against each other? Okay. Once you have that, that's not the main purpose. That's not, once you figure that out, that's going to do you nothing. That's just only going to give you a first starting point. Why are they fighting? Let's say, for example, that I'm gonna have to create a fight scene right off the bat here. Let's see. Let's say it has something to do with this Coca-Cola. Let's say that there's a health expert sitting right next to me. Okay, the health expert says, "Stop drinking Coca-Cola Zero because the sweetener in Coca-Cola Zero will give you cancer, and I want to save your life because I love you." And I say to the health expert over there, I say, well, I want to live my life the way I want to live my life, and I will eat and drink whatever I want to live because I have a short life anyway, so everyone dies, and I just want to drink my Coca-Cola cancer water. And so me and the health expert get into a fight over this Coca-Cola. That's the reason we're fighting. That doesn't tell you anything, okay? As a writer, that should not tell you anything except the why. So when you're importing this into a fight, here's what you can take. Okay. Write this down, like a simple chart. right? You have two characters against each other. If I win, what do I get? And if I lose, what do I lose? Right? If you want to make it more complex, you can do this. If I win, what do I win and lose? If I lose, what do I win and lose? And you don't just do that for me, you do that for the health expert as well. So, to put this into context, if you have a good guy versus a bad guy, a protagonist versus an antagonist, you can figure out why they're fighting, but also figure out what the protagonist gets if he wins, and what the protagonist loses if they lose. Or alternatively, what they lose if they win, and what they get if they win, or whatever, right? But also remember to do that for the antagonist, because that gives a very good reason for the antagonist to be fighting against the protagonist. So you can figure that out. So in this Coca-Cola scenario, right? If I win against the health expert, I will have the freedom to eat and drink whatever I want. However, I will lose in that. However, if I do beat this guy, I will still lose in the fact that I will get cancer from drinking cancer water. Okay. If I lose against the health man, what that would mean is that I no longer get to pick and choose what I have to eat, and I have to eat a strict diet that this guy plans for me. However, I will be more healthy. Alternatively, on the other side, if it was this health guy that I was fighting, if this health guy won, then the person that he loves will be able to live a longer life because he has planned out a strict eating schedule for me to live longer, and I won't get cancer. However, he will be acknowledging that he has been in a fight with me and that I no longer get to eat the things I love. If the health guy loses, then that means he will have to acknowledge that I will live a shorter life. However, he can still be happy knowing that I can eat and drink whatever I want. So there's levels to it. That gives reason for people to fight. And it's not always a black and white scenario where it's a win and a lose. There's always some extra gray area behind it, right? So there's an easy way for you to plan out motivation for people to fight. It's not a lot of people talk about it. It's very simple, very easy to grasp and easy to understand. It's not many people do it that way. So there you go. If you ever have a fight scene, write down for the protagonist and the antagonist what they win and lose and what they get from winning and losing. That will surely make the motivation for the fight a lot easier to plan out. We've only got 7 minutes left, so let me just read the chat and see what's going on here. NRP says, I wish I could get better with animating, but my graphics card is really bad. It was 50 euro, but I'm happy with it because my mom bought it for me. That's cool. I mean, is it your graphics card? Okay, so are you animating with Cinema 4D? Because the graphics card only controls what's happening in the viewport. Maybe if you have a weak... If you have a weak graphics card, you won't be able to animate a lot of the complex scenes. So, you probably won't be able to drop in a cube and then drop in a cloner and then, do a million cubes or something. However, if you have a simple animation, I feel like you still might be able to get somewhere with it. I feel like it's a good idea to work with whatever you have, no matter what you have. And so even if you have some pretty trash equipment, I just noticed how I fucked up. Yeah, even if you've got some pretty trash equipment, I still feel like it's a good idea for you to do what you can. So one of my first steps in telling any beginner how to make anything is to tell them to create the animation of a brick falling off a shelf. So if you're just starting to get into 3D animation, a good idea, get your software up and make a brick falling off a shelf. Do that without downloading anything. So what you have to do there is 3D model a shelf, a wooden shelf, create a brick on the top of the shelf, and then learn how to animate physics. So learn how to animate the brick falling down. Don't use dynamics. Manually animate the brick. And so this will teach you about weight, and this will teach you about physics of how things fall, how they bounce when they fall. Okay, once you do the brick, do a tennis ball. Because a brick and a tennis ball falling down, they do different things. A tennis ball will bounce, a brick will not. Or a brick will bounce a little bit, but it's not going to bounce like a tennis ball, right? And then once you do all of that, once you animate all of that, learn to texture it. Learn about materials, learn about reflection, and all that sort of stuff. That is so simple because it's just a shelf, and it's just a brick, and it's just a tennis ball. Nothing else. Anybody with any computer can do that. And that will teach you so much more than if you were to download some sort of Minecraft rig and try to do a walk animation. Anyone who does that, anyone who hasn't animated before and downloads a Minecraft rig and does a little walk animation, stop. Like, that's wrong. Don't do that. Like, you're not going to learn anything doing that. Because a walk animation is so much higher above your level that you're just going to end up making some garbage. I kid you not. Like, I'm not going to hold back saying that. That's going to become garbage. Learn to animate from the very basics and work your way up. Blue Crystal says, maybe you could start off with 2D animation with a weak graphic card. Not transferable. 2D animations are not transferable to 3D animations. Okay, some of the principles, sure. Okay, but the way you use the principles is different in 3D anyway, so it's not going to transfer that much. If you have a weak graphic card, it's better to stick to simple scenes in 3D and learn how to do 3D. You might not have to do Minecraft. Because remember, Team WNJ, if you're planning to join Team WNJ in the future, remember that we're not just going to do Minecraft. We're planning to work for high-paying clients, Apple, Rolex, all those sort of commercials where you see the iPhone floating around in space. We can do that. Like, I could do that right now. But I want to have a team so we can all do that together. So we can come up with new ideas. Because look at an iPhone floating around in space. How many times have you seen that? That's boring, man. That's boring. I want to invent something new. I want to invent something new and something easy to do. And so if you guys learn to 3D animate, and you would come to Team WNJ when we're starting to do stuff like that, feel free to hop on board. As long as you have enough skill. Start practicing. Start practicing. NRP says, I use Mineimator. The reason I don't like Mineimator, not because Mineimator is bad software or anything. I feel like it is lacking in certain places compared to Blender. However, the main reason I don't like people using Mineimator is that if you like animation, and you really like animation, and you want to get a job as an animator in real life, and you apply for a job and you say, oh, I've done stuff in Mineimator, people are going to really look at your resume. They're going to be like, what the hell is Mineimator? If you use something like Blender, that is recognized professionally. And that's still free. So I think if you're using Mineimator, hop over to Blender if you like animations. Because if you learn to use Blender at a young age, when you grow up and you get out of school and you want a job as an animator and you put on your resume, I have used Blender for 15 years or some shit. Oh, that's going to look good. That's going to look real good. Mollycraft, you are late. We're right about to end the stream. We've only got 1 minute left. NRP says, thank you so much. It really helps. I am now motivated to animate because of your advice. Because the first one is actually garbage. Hey, man. NRP. There's a link in the description for our Discord. Look for the Discord link. Join our community right there because we're about to end the stream. However, we are always active on Discord. It's just a community of all of our subscribers all gathered together. It's an awesome community. Different story writers, different animators. Just everyone's there. It's going to be a very welcoming community. So NRP, look into the description, create a Discord account. It's completely free and join us over on Discord. Now, seeing that we only have 1 minute left, I think it's time to call an end of the stream. Yeah, Mollycraft, it really is the end of the stream. That's all right, though. You can always watch the archive, the replay of the stream if you wanted to know some animation tips, because this stream really was to talk about animation tips for me to share a lot of stuff. Josiah say, hey, Chafe! What's going on, Josiah? We only got 1 minute left. What are you trying to yell at me for, man? Don't forget you said you'd think about my channel. Oh, fuck! Dude, we've only got 1 minute left. Okay. I'll do that on Discord. Catch me over on Discord. Okay. Well, with that said and done, make sure that right now, if you're anywhere near the description, hold on. Remember this button as well. It's right there. It's right next to the description. Hit that button right there. That's a like button. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up because that will really help the YouTube algorithm and help my channel. And it puts a smile on my face and it puts a smile on your face as well. Smile, guys. It makes you feel better. If you have not joined our Discord already, it's completely free to join. I just explained what Discord was. Link is in the description, completely free. Come join us there. And we talked a lot about Levisleer and talked a lot about fight animations. If you still have no idea who I am and what I've done, feel free to check out Levisleer episode 0. That's the prologue animation that was revealed at PAX Australia 2018. Link is in the description. Go watch it if you have not already. That's a prime example of what I can do in fight animations. With that said and done, I will see you guys next stream on Thursday. See you there. Cheers.